Hello, friends. My name is Victor Ikorjo Idako, a member of the Geoinformation Society of Nigeria and the founder of the DE-VICKSGEOSPATIAL Co. You are welcome to today's module. In the previous module, I explained how you can project a satellite imagery and then create shapefiles. In this module, we'll be digitizing our satellite imagery with a shapefile created and then producing our map. So let's get right on. So having created our shapefile, and the next is for us to start editing. And for some of us that are new to the Arcgis environment, you need to bring in the editor tool. The editor tool can be brought in using this editor toolbar option here, or you can go to customize, or you can go to customize, you go to toolbars, then we have the editor. So once I click on the editor, you see my editor is missing. If I should click on this, editor comes back. Or if I go to my customize, I click on toolbars, then I click on editor, my editor toolbar comes active. Next is for you to start editing. So I'll click on editor, I'll click start editing. And then once you start editing, you discover that the create feature environment will appear. A new environment will pop up called the create feature environment, where you have a list of the shapefiles that you have on your table of content. If a shapefile is unchecked in your table of contents, you discover that it won't be visible in your create feature environment. And for those of us that haven't started editing, your create feature environment will not appear. The best way to go about it is for you to click the drop down option in the editor menu. Then you now go to editing windows and you have your create feature environment here. So if yours appears automatic, that is very good. If yours doesn't appear, you go to your editor tool, click on it, then you go to the second to the last tool, which is the editing windows, and you create feature. You click on the create feature and the create feature environment will appear. So the first thing we'll click on buildings. Let's start digitizing our buildings. So what you do, you click on buildings, then at the bottom here we have various construction tools. You have the polygons, you have the rectangle, you have the circle, you have the ellipse, freehand, autocomplete polygon, autocomplete freehand. So in this case we'll be using the polygon. So having selected the polygon, you zoom in to the building you want to start with first, then you look at the shape of the building and then follow the shape of the building the way it is. In this case, I'll be digitizing this building like as it is. I'll click on this side, and you left click on this side, left click on this side, then a final point you then double left click to end the process. So here we have one polygon added. So next we can bring in this polygon here, this file here. You click on one side, the next first side, you double left click on the second side, left click on the third side, double left click the final points. It tends to end the process. So next I'll go to this building here and then double click, click on the first side, second side, the third side, and the final side. I'll then double click to end the process. Same with this building, I click on it. So it must not be a regular polygon, it can be an irregular polygon. So you just have to follow the edges of the building you can see and then follow it like this. Like this building is kind of is having a curvy edge, so it's expected that you pick the curvy edges and then run through the edges as you can see on my screen. So having done that, the last point you then double click to end the process. So this is the way one can digitize buildings on the satellite imagery. So having done this, you click this, double click on the last point, you end the process, you click, double first pick last point, you click. Like this building has a curvy edge at this side, so I'm going to follow the curvy edge and round. I'll click on this, I'll click here straight, come here, and then up, and to the last point, and then double click. Then I'll go to the next building, pick this, pick here, double click. I have that building created. Next, I'll click this, I'll click that, click this, I'll click that, then double click. I have the building created. So this is how one can digitize buildings in the satellite imagery. You click and you double click. Oh, this one is continuous. Okay, yeah, the buildings are connected together. So I'm going to click this and end it here. Then follow suit. Click this. Continue clicking it. So as you can see, we can see the building at the background. So one can easily follow the shape of the building and then bring the buildings out. So here, the last point, and then double click. So here I've brought in this complex. Then the next, I'm going to the next building. We have connected buildings here. I'll click on it, click on this, double click. I'll click this on this, click on this, double click. Then I'll also pick this, and double click. So this is how one can actually bring out a polygon. It doesn't matter how regular or irregular the polygon is, you can bring the polygon out. Click this, and double click. So we have the polygon. So next, let's try the road network. So it's the same process. You go back to your create feature environment, then you click road, then you click line. But before we start digitizing the road network, haven't digitized a number of buildings or a number of features that you want to digitize, the best thing to do is for you to save edits, so that in case your system goes off, or in case you have some challenges along the line, the file that you've worked on can be retrieved. So the best thing you do, you go to your editor and then save edits, so that the previous work we've digitized can be saved, and then we can continue with the line or the road network we want to digitize. So like I said, you go to click on the road network, then click on line, and then we'll now start following the road. So let's start with the major entrance here. From the major route, we'll click, usually we'll pick the center line of our road, and we'll click this, we'll pick here, and then before come to the center line, you click this, come to the center line of the road here, there will then double click to end the process. So having done this, we'll then continue the road by clicking this. We ought to have activated our snipping tool so that we can continue from the previous digitized file. So for you to bring in your snipping tool, you go to your customize toolbar, you go to toolbars, you click on search for snipping or snapping, then from there you pick the snapping tool and make sure you click on use snapping, so that as soon as you select snapping, it will snap to the previous file, so that there will not be gap in your road, the connectivity of your road. So I'll click on this and then start to the center line of your road, and then click on this, click next, click next, click next, then you click next. Then here is a curvy road. So what you do next is for you to curve. Don't pick a long extent, just pick it gradually so that it can identify the curvy nature of the road, and then you then continue the digitizing process. So here we have a roundabout. Then what I'll do, I'll double click at the center of the roundabout, and here I have the road network. So same with this route, I can come to the center point here and then click on this, then start picking the road network, and then click this, click the center line of the road, then click the center line of the road, continue clicking it to bring out the curvy nature of the road. Then after that, come to the center of the road and then double click. So next I'll pick this at this point, and then I'll click next point, center line of the road, I'll click this. Then continue digitizing the road network at the center line of the road, and then you click this, and then you click next. Sometimes you can't visualize the road due to the the tree cover. Then what you do next is for you to just pick. Haven't looked at the the extent of the road, or the way, the nature of the road from the starting point. You then can follow straight through the path, or one can go for ground truthing and then pick the coordinates of the road and then align the digitized data with the center of the road. So at this point, there's a curve here. I'll click on it, then click on it, then I'll continue clicking on it to this point here, at this junction here, and then I'll double click at this point to end the digitizing of that road. So next, so for you to be able to see the digitized feature, you can uncheck the imagery. Once I uncheck this imagery, I can see, wow, I can see what I've digitized so far. So I can also bring back my imagery and then continue from where I stop. So I'll be digitizing some road network here. Let me pick this. I'll pick from this point here, the center line of the road, and then follow the road, the center line of the road, bring out the curvy nature of the road, and then continue, center line of the road, and then here we have a curvy nature of the road. So I'm going to follow. The road is covered by the tree, so I'm going to assume the extent of the road and then follow through on top of the trees. Then I'll have this, then I'll have this, then the road continued to this point, then I'll then double click at this end. So I haven't done quite a number of the road. I'll go back to my editor. I'll then save edits just to save the work I've digitized so far. Then at this point, I'll continue digitizing the road. Let's bring out some of the road network in this study area. Click here. I'll end right click and then finish sketch to end the process. Then pick it from that point and then come to this junction here. Then pick the center point of the road. You can pick the central divide if the central divide is visible. Sorry, the imagery that I'm using currently, due to the way it was captured from the satellite imagery, isn't that clear, but you can see the road and the extent of the buildings, and you can then digitize the information on the satellite imagery. So you can go follow suits, click, then at this point I then stop my editing, stop that point, stop digitizing the road network at that junction, then continue the process. So I'm going to continue the process to the end of the road. I'll zoom in, pick the center line of the road, and then continue digitizing my road. So here the road ends here. Double click here to end the process. So let's add more roads before we pick that of so I'm going to pick this. There's a connection to this road here. I'll pick this, click on this, then the center line of the road. I'll pick on this, then here is a curvy road. So like I said, you don't have to take it that far. You just take it gradually to follow the nature of the road, and then at the end point of the road, you then double click to end the process. So this is the road network. If I should uncheck my imagery, you can see the road network digitized on my screen. So having done this, I'll be working on the trees. So it's very simple. You can pick the trees and then click on points and then start following the trees. Like you can identify them on your screen. So I'm going to pick this, so this is just single click on the trees. Then it looks like the the shape of the point is not visible enough due to the background of the trees. So one can click on the shape at the bottom to change the shape to something else, or something that is bigger, or something that is visible. So I'm going to click on asterisk 2. I'll click on asterisk 2 and then click OK. So here we have this is visible enough, so I can and then choose this, click. As I continue clicking, I continue adding my trees to the features that are being digitized. So here are the trees. I can pick this, pick that as trees. Can have them as trees. Can have this as trees. So I'm bringing out the trees by the roadside. So sometimes you won't be able to get the exact numbers of trees, so you can just follow as the tree goes for you to identify the trees. And the best option is one to go to the site and then use the GPS location. It could be a mobile GPS or a handheld GPS, and then go to the site and then pick the coordinates, the exact coordinates of the trees, so that one can easily identify or the exact location of the trees. So here I'm identifying trees from the satellite imagery, and like we know, the satellite imagery is not that clear, so one can actually get and due to the nature, and since the imagery is captured from space, one can't exactly say this is the exact location of the tree. So the best approach or the best method is for you to um, go to the site and then use your GPS and pick the location of your trees, and then bring that into the GIS environment. In our next module, we'll be explaining to you how you can bring in data that you've picked from the site into your GIS environment. Also, in our next module, I'll be teaching us how you can produce your map from having digitized your imagery and having done all. You get your symbology. You get you improved on the symbology of the layer you're interested in. In this case, in our own case here, I changed the symbol of the trees so that it can be visible. So in our next module, I'll be explaining how best one can change the symbology of the features that you can see and then produce your map. And at the end of your digitizing process, what you do next is for you to go to your editor, save edit, and then go back to your editor and then stop edit. This ends the digitizing process. And having done this, to be able to come to the current setting of your screen, so that let's say you are done, or you want to go for a recess, or you want to go for a break, and you want to come back to the exact location, the best thing you do is for you to go to your file and then go to save, and then you locate where you want to save it. In my own case, I'm going to libraries, I'm going to document, I'm going to GIS, I'm going to GIS class, then I'll save it as GIS class work. So having done that, you click on save, and here our work is saved. So at this point, one can click on the saved file from the folder. It will open the arc map automatic, and you can come back to this save setting on your screen and then continue from where you stop. And whenever you want to continue, what you do, like I said previously, you come back to your editor and then start editing. Once you toggle or you click on the start editing, your the information on your create feature option here will be visible. Then you can click on the file you want to digitize. Then from there you can then start digitizing. And this is the end of our module, and I thank you for coming this far and hope to see you in the next module. Thank you.